What's up, y'all? It's Annabelle with That Good Shit, and I am here with.
Montel Fish, hello.
How you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Came through in the all black outfit. We're in a real moody
I
room.
know I probably didn't pick the brightest outfit for this occasion, but
No, you blend into the room very well.
I'm an observer, so I'm usually trying to be on the outside, just looking
Yeah.
in.
What do you have on today? You have a really nice outfit on. I really like your pants. I like your shoes. You want to
Thank
run us
you.
through what we have on today?
Most of it I got in Paris. I have Solomon and Margiela collab. I love Solomon. I love um, Active. In New York, you kind of need comfortable like shoes that you can walk in. Kiko, amazing designer, and then it's just Balenci, black hoodie. But I mean, it's all just like black. I'm just more into like silhouettes and stuff that feels comfortable to wear.
I'm really excited to be here with you today. We've got a new project coming out that's really exciting. And, just here I am out here trying to have like a hot girl summer. And Montel Fish comes along and has me missing my ex and drowning in longing. I'm really loving the new singles that have come out so far. My favorite so far has been Scream My Name. I really love that song. Can you tell me a little bit about that song and how that one came together?
It's just an honest song. I mean, I think it's actually one of the last songs that I made for the album. I had submitted it already, and then I kind of made Distraction and Scream, and I was like, whoa, these feel like, the spirit that I still want to communicate.
As you're moving into this new era, are you feeling any like expectations or pressures from your fans or listeners to go a certain direction, or are you kind of like blocking that out and kind of just going whatever direction feels true to you?
I like to think that I try to think about my fans whenever they listen, because I know that like anyone could, make a song and only you could like it. Like I could make a song and I could only use a language that I like and chords that aren't in a different, like they're all in different keys and it goes to different time signatures, and maybe someone else out there will like that too. But I think um, there's a bit of thinking about the fans. With that being said, I still also think about legacy and how I'll be remembered, and I try to make things that, I try to push the borders, like with certain mixes, even like Hotel, or even Scream My Name. Like I hope that, with some of the approaches that I do, um, there are things that are like are are remembered, and thing like, even if it sounds messy and it sounds ugly, like I hope that it sticks out for that reason, and people kind of gravitate to it for that reason.
This is a big question, but how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, that is a big question. I mean, as hopefully someone that loves music, as someone like, for who I am. I mean, I think I have like a strange relationship with the internet and how much uh I think I would want to share all the time, but I'd love to be like just remembered. I think the closest people around me know that, I try to be a good person, but just a lover of music. And I think I really want to show the world that um, I have a lot of like ideas and a lot of just worlds inside of me and a lot of places that I want to take people. And so hopefully I can give people experiences, and I can give people when they come to my show, like hopefully it doesn't just feel like any other show. Like hopefully it feels connected and timely, and that's just all the artists that I look up to. Like that's how they make me feel. So yeah.
Well, I can definitely say you're doing like an incredible job of creating that legacy for yourself so far. I feel like literally all the time, like I have talks with people about like social media and the internet and music and what that means and like how different people are navigating it. And I actually like bring you up as an example a lot, as someone who like doesn't seem to rely very heavily on like the internet and social media to, like push your music. You really just put like great music at the center of everything you do, and that's what like keeps your momentum moving. I'm always like, this dude is just out here making fantastic music, and that's really all it takes. You don't have to be out here like, did I just make the song of the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
They said
think
there's no song of the summer this year.
that's
But
a
there's been
damn
a lot,
lie.
yeah, there's been a lot of songs this summer.
Yeah, what are some of your songs of the
I think one of
summer?
that Nasty Girl song. I mean, I can't claim that for myself.
You haven't been a nasty girl this summer?
Um, man, I ain't gonna say that, but I mean, my song of the summer, I've been listening to. I mean, I've been in album mode, so it's kind of,
Yeah.
I've like been locked away. And the last song I was listening to was Prince, "The Most Beautiful Girl in the World." It's been oldies lately. It's been like old R&B.
Hmm.
because just the chords and like the musicality of certain R&B, I think it always speaks. It's just beautiful.
Always, yeah. So it's been like an R&B heavy summer for you.
Yeah, yeah. New Jack Swing, 90s, some 80s stuff. I've been getting like some 80s keyboards and synths
Nice.
recently, and yeah, I'm just big into that vibe right now.
What is, if you have one, what's your favorite album that's come out this year so far?
I loved McGee's project, yeah, the Dream Police one, and I mean he's had a ride, rightfully so, and I checked him out even when he was doing stuff with Dijon, just because I feel like those guys like need way more like shine. They just feel like they know what music is and they know what they're doing with music, and I yeah I just wish, I mean they're getting their shine, but I just see so many artists. I'm like, oh man, they got something going. So I
Yeah,
really fucked with that Dream Police
absolutely.
project. Yeah.
Do you have any collaborators on this album aside from I know Daniel Caesar's on a track?
hmm
But was there anyone else who you worked with while creating the album?
I mean, I created most of the album with Jacob Portrait, who's another producer. He's in this band called Unknown Mortal Orchestra,
Hmm.
which I love, and so I kind of knew some of his work from there. And he also produced Yachty's last record, Let's Start Here. He kind of knew artists. I'm pretty hermit. I like to stay in the house and work on music, but I got with him and we sent Is It a Crime to uh Clem's Casino, which is like a super tucked reference, but he does some like little production stuff at the end. Um and then Daniel, that was like we were in the middle of tour and we were back in New York, and I just was telling him about like the worlds I was just trying to build with like we were kind of writing this book called The Book of Charlotte for the DJ Gummy Bear character, and we released like 5 chapters, and I was kind of just telling him about like I don't know, we're just really into that stuff. Like we want fans to kind of have stuff to go with the art, with the music. And he was just so on board. The song that I got him on, it's kind of like an interlude part of the album. It's kind of a poem that I wrote. It's called God or the Devil, and I was just telling him, I mean, the song is pretty self-explanatory. The poem goes like, God or the devil, which will it be? One you will choose and sacrifice to me. You can't decide, then you will die. You try and try, it eats you alive. Which one will you choose? Either way you lose. And he was just so kind of with everything that said, even though it's an intense poem, but just with everything that I was writing, I think he just fit right in. So that was a super fun collab. I don't do many collabs, and I think for that reason, I think because he just hopped right in, it felt right.
I think that it feels really natural for you two to be working together. Like when I saw him announce that tour and I saw you were on it, I was like, yes. Like I just felt like that was really a beautiful pairing. Like that last album he put out, Never Enough, is one of my like favorite projects from the last few years. What's your favorite song on that album?
Superpowers is a banger. Always, even though it's like the hit, of course, is fire. I think always I was kind of fucking with, just because I told him to like not dumb down his chords, but sometimes I like when he just goes major and minor chords and doesn't do um some of the more diminished and like I guess more soulful and like gospel. Like sometimes I like when he kind of stays a little bit more pop because his
Mm-hmm.
voice is like so soulful. So I was like, oh, I thought that always was kind of cool because it felt like him, but it felt like a little bit like I don't know, more traditional.
From your time working with Daniel Caesar, touring with him, what's something that he's taught you or something you've learned from just witnessing what he does?
I think we were both, especially on tour, we were both kind of like looking at each other, and like trying to study each other because he has a very like almost controlled approach like when he's on stage, and he has everyone's attention, everyone's like singing the song. So he kind of taught me that you don't have to over exert yourself too much. um like if you are focused on what you're doing, what you're singing, like everyone's going to be paying attention. And then I was kind of going the opposite. I was kind of like I wanted to bring more energy to my songs. I wanted to shout and I wanted to scream and I wanted to have the guitars loud, uh, which is good for a certain time. But I think I just learned another side to performing too. There's another way to do it, especially when you're on. I mean, he was on a long tour, and every night you're not gonna have that energy to do that. So yeah, I learned a lot from him. He's a super good guy.
A lot of your lyrics and your songs are incredibly vulnerable. And I'm curious, like, what you do to kind of get in that space. I know a little earlier you talked about like in the past, like kind of like sitting with those emotions for a long time and kind of like getting in that zone. But yeah, how do you kind of access that vulnerable side of yourself? Is that something you've been able to kind of just like easily switch on, or do you kind of have to like get in the zone, or just how do you access that part of yourself?
I think it's a bit of sitting and listening. I think like when I'm alone for a few hours, even if you're not sad, something in your brain might pop up from your past, or um, I think it's just like being calm enough to listen to, because you could be in a heartbreak, and sometimes I'm in a heartbreak and something, it doesn't necessarily speak to me enough to write a cohesive song. Um, so I think really it's just like listening to your soul, and like trying to get like quiet as much as you can. After like even the biking and walking, like after a few hours just being alone, like I feel like you just start think about things, your past.
How much of the time are you like writing your lyrics down, and how much of the time are you kind of just like free flowing with it? Like, what is your writing process like?
I touch an instrument every day. Like I'm always fiddling with stuff, and so I I kind of think of it as like no minutes wasted. Like I'm always learning something just because I'm always just fiddling and stuff. But writing specifically, it's more thinking about what I want to write and thinking about what I want to say, really more than it is writing. Because writing comes by pretty quickly. I don't try to edit myself too much. I'm still very much inspired by, like, Justin Vernon and Prince, where I care a lot about the expression, and so like song like "Fall in Love with You" literally probably has less than 30 words, but I was more so focusing on the expression and stuff like that.
When do you feel you're most creative and you're most inspired?
For me, it's usually I'm a morning person. I feel like, yeah, I like getting up like 6:30 or 7 if I can, and or even before that, like before everyone gets up. There's like a good feeling, like when you can see the sunrise. Um, But usually it's the morning just because I'm a morning person, and that's when I'm the least busiest with everyone.
Yeah.
But creativity calls at any time too. Like sometimes you just gotta wake up at 3 a.m. because a song is like calling you.
What's your morning routine looking like these days?
I mean, now it's tour prep, so I'm trying to get my body right. I'm trying to not die on tour.
We want to avoid that.
Yeah.
If we can.
So I'm trying to work out, like biking, walking, running, lifting a little bit, and then I try to get a little like audiobook or reading in at least for like, a little bit. And then it's usually, I mean, I've been in album mode, so then it's music. Now I'm finally free a little bit, and I can think about my day. So now it's gonna be a little more relaxing, probably, hopefully.
What is the last playlist that you made?
I'm low-key an album guy, or if it's like a song, I'll literally like play next everything. Like I'll pick a song and I'll be on the aux and I'll just think of songs constantly that I want to hear after. I mean, like I said, my favorite artists are like Kanye and Tyler and Gambino, and like I feel like you have to listen to the album to get the context of what they're trying to express.
100%. I feel like a lot of those artists, like once you listen to one song off the album, you kind of have to finish it out. Like you have no option but to see the whole project through.
Yeah, because the sounds, and sometimes they use like the same snare, the same bass part, and it just feels like a part of their brain that you can enter for a little bit. That's what I like.
Let's talk about the tour. There's a tour loading. Very exciting. Tell me a little bit about the tour and what you're looking forward to most for the tour.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is like basically my first U.S. tour. I had one, but I got really sick. I got like COVID in the middle of it, so I had to cancel because I was like just bedridden. But it's my first time in the U.S. People have been mad at me because I've only really been outside of it. And yeah, I I want to play some new sounds, some of the new album, take people kind of on a new sonic journey, and yeah, just like I think live is probably my favorite, like one of my one of the most best parts of being a musician, like getting to give it back to the fans and like be there and see them experience it. So I think it's gonna be like super special, super intimate, and it'll be my first time for a lot of people. So I think it'll be really cool.
What's the most for you? What's the most memorable live performance of your career thus far?
I haven't done that many live performances. I've done like a lot of I've done music for a while, and so I've always been like even when I was young, I was doing like open mic nights and stuff like that. But I haven't done so many performances, especially when I look at like some of my idols and the places where I want to go to where I'm not gonna say I don't have a most memorable performance, but I think probably the one that I'm thinking of now, just because it was like my first festival, was like the Something in the Water festival a few years ago. I think it was 2022, and that was like Pharrell's festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just like my first time just being around a bunch of artists and like being backstage and like feeling like an artist and like getting interviewed and like and seeing Pharrell and like and Tyler was there and Paris, Texas was there, and it was just cool. I just felt like I was like, oh, I'm becoming an artist.
You're amongst all the greats. It's always so fun to be at those festivals and be walking around. You're like, oh my God, there's that person. There's that person. Who's like the most starstruck you've ever been of when you're around, when you're in an environment like that?
I actually seen Alicia Keys in New York, and I don't even remember what I said, but I just know I got a photo. Like I don't
Wow.
even remember asking for a photo. There was something where I had to blurt something out. Like I think I probably said I love you or something.
Yeah.
So Alicia Keys, it's all love.
I know you said you're not huge on collaboration, but if you did have like a dream collaboration that you aspire to have happen one day, what would that be?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I'm trying to figure because I've produced for myself so much, so I kind of understand my voice a lot. So sometimes that makes me self-conscious when I produce for other people because I'm like, oh, I don't know if their voice will sound good. But what I found in the past, and I mean, just in general, I I always try to sometimes like emulate a woman's voice, usually with my singing, just like the falsetto and higher register. So I'd love to work with um, just some more women like artists, and I just love that tone, and maybe just on the production tip or just in backgrounds or doing some writing or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many, but um, I just want to get started.
I definitely want to chat a tiny bit about DJ Gummy Bear, and I mainly just want to know like where were you when you came up with the name DJ Gummy Bear?
It probably was like a 5 minute thing that just sounded. That was supposed to be a thing. It's supposed to be like an experiment, and so yeah, it was literally just me thinking I need a DJ name and Gummy Bear.
Gummy Bear. Are you just like a big gummy bear enthusiast? Like maybe you were like eating
I
some
do
gummy
like
bears.
Gummy bears. Yeah. I am big on gummy bears. But no, he like I feel like his character, it just makes sense for his name to be DJ Gummy Bear. Like when you see the masks too, and you're just like, oh, it's just Gummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just call him Gummy now. Sometimes we just refer to him like my whole team is just Gummy.
What's Gummy's favorite song to play in the club as of right now?
I've been bumping the BK, not gonna lie. BK the Ruler, like her last project was fire. I like the Skywater last project. I've been on some underground shit, low key.
Come on, that underground shit that y'all don't know about.
I kind of been on the underground shit. That's what I love. I did the James Blake set, and that was kind of like underground, and I was bumping some. I think I was bumping some Yachty too. So I like rap, like especially in the club and shit. But then I do sometimes like house remixes and stuff like that, where I'll just take an acapella and like produce a beat under it.
You feel like DJing brings out another side of you creatively that you don't get to explore as much when you're just like making your own original music?
Yeah. I was trying to think about that because I feel like DJing is almost sometimes how like the way sometimes a DJ will take an acapella and put it on this beat, and they'll just move certain things around. Kind of help me understand certain relationships to certain genres because yeah, music and genres, I guess sometimes they feel so separate, but like when you DJ and when you kind of blend things together and you kind of get everything the way that you perceive it, I don't know, I just feel like that perspective kind of helps me. And it just helps to be more free. Like you can kind of pull up and DJ anywhere and it doesn't have to be something that you kind of plan. That was also the spirit of DJ Gummy Bear. It was like this character that was meant to help me to take my focus off of Charlotte when it got too serious, um, and especially just mentally because Charlotte was a bit of a lot, just mentally on me, um, just because I kind of didn't know if I was atheist. I just didn't. I felt lost a lot writing it, and so I needed like a character to help me focus on just like good stuff, like happy
Mm.
stuff.
You're talking about BK, you're talking about Skywater, but are there any other kind of like rising artists that you're really excited about right now?
Sade. I'm just kidding. Um,
Y'all heard about this underground artist named Sade? Really cool.
very low key.
Very low key. Last question I want to ask you, and this is always a really fun one. Who's your favorite fictional character, and what would their favorite Montel Fish song be?
I'm gonna say a person from a video game, which no one's gonna know. It's a video game called Life is Strange. I love that game because it's kind of super indie and it's based in like the PNW, and so it's like very the landscapes are like super beautiful and stuff, and it has a lot of good music, like a lot of good folk like esque indie music. I think the character in there, the main one, would probably like Jamie or some songs from Jamie, just because the soundtrack of that game is like that. But that game is just so crazy because you kind of like have the ability to reverse time,
Mm-hmm.
and so you're trying to figure out the whole time there was like a missing person in this high school, um, and you have to figure out how they went missing, and you kind of get closer to seeing who did it as the game goes on. So you have to like reverse time and and do different obstacles to like figure out the end of the game. That game and just the way it feels and how the soundtrack is, I love that. So probably that character Max from Life is Strange.
Montel, this has been such a pleasure. I'm such a fan of everything you do. I'm really, really excited about the new album, the tour, everything else coming up. Is there anything else that the people should know about Montel Fish?
Not really. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep fuck the haters. Actually, my mom's gonna listen to this. Just keep chasing your dreams and don't listen to what people say.
Beautiful.
My mom's gonna listen like I cursed like 20 other times.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Shout out to all the moms.